Hello, this is Dom from Black Toad Studios and welcome to What the Guard Players Want in 2021. In this video, I'll go through the top 5 things that I think all Guard players will want in 2021. Of course, number one, without listing it, would be to actually play some games, because a lot of us, of course, have been stuck in lockdown. So that aside, let's get started, starting with number 5. So number 5 is new Guardsmen, plastic Guardsmen. So looking at the metal range or even the current plastic range and giving them a new model. Please, Games Workshop, we need some new plastic models. You look at the Katachan and they are terrible models and need some reinvigoration, as well as the Acadian ones are looking a bit dated now, as we've seen from the Gene Stealer cult. Also from the AdMech to a degree, you can see what Games Workshop are capable of now. And I'd really like to see some new Valhallans maybe, or Mordian, let's say maybe even Talan. You know, there's a lot of bad models there that could be put into nice new plastic molds. And I personally would love a Steel Legion army to mount up into some chimeras and roll across the dusts of Armageddon. What about you guys? What regiment would you like to see in plastic? And let's move on to number 4. So at number 4, we've seen other armies now getting a new Codex. And it's about time the Guard get one. So I'd really like to see a new Guard Codex at the beginning of 2021. Because at the moment, our lasgun loving guys are kind of on the back foot against the Astartes, for instance. So I'd love to see a new reimagining of the Codex, putting some of the new features that we've seen already in the Necron and Marine Codex into a Guard Codex. Being able to upgrade those commanders to add a little bit more oomph behind their orders would be amazing. Also, I'd like to see some nice secondary objectives in that Codex. And I think the sooner we get that Codex, the better. And it'll be good to see the Guardsmen back in front of the other lesser races. So that is my personal number 4. So number 3, I would love to see some new Rough Rider models appear in the new Codex. I think they've kind of been neglected. We haven't seen a new model since the 90s, I believe, when we had the Attilan Rough Riders. Forge World, of course, did their Talan ones, and we've kind of seen a lot of conversions in the past. So it'd be quite nice to see the Rough Riders reappear, maybe outflanking the opponent. I don't mind how they're done, if they're done on bikes or they're done on steeds, but if they're on steeds, we've seen some great sculpting of the AdMech cavalry, and I really think there's not enough cavalry in the game. So I personally would love to see some Rough Riders. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Attilan. It could be any regiment, possibly even Death Corps. If Death Corps were released in plastic, Rough Riders are a must. What about you guys? What do you reckon would be a good regiment to have some Rough Riders? And would it be better to be on a steed, a big lizard, or a bike? Let me know in the comments below what you think would be good. Okay, so we're going to move on to number 2. So number 2 for me would be a new regiment. I've spoken before, and number 5 I believe, where I was saying about a reimagining of the old metal kits into a plastic kit. I would like to see some new kits emerging as well, completely new. So we've seen the Ventrilian Nobles appear on Games Workshop for a little while, the converted kit. It'd also be quite nice to see some Salva Chem Dogs as well have a plastic kit. There's lots of different options there, and they might even pull something fresh out of the bag. But I would like to see some new models, which would kind of put some new sculpts and some new ideas. And also the good thing about Guard models is that you're able to kit bash a lot with the current kits. So if you brought the new kits, you could probably kit bash it with a Cadian kit. So it could lead to all sorts of possibilities. I personally would love to see this, and I'd add an extra platoon of a different regiment into my Guard army, because why not, guys? And finally, number 1, I would love to see some special characters return or some brand new special characters. There's been a lot of special characters over the years for the Imperial Guard, and I personally would like to see some of them return, from the likes of Stumper Muscat, for starters. It'd be quite a cool little rattling to get back. Gaunt as well. Gaunt would be pretty good. Chenkov. You've got a whole list of characters that you could delve back into, reimagine, sculpt, and add more to that particular regiment. And I really think Games Workshop needs to go in there and kind of muck it up a little bit and see what can come out. They're some of my characters that I'd like to see. I know a couple of characters are being taken out of the lore, but also this could be taken part any part of the 40k timeline. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a current guy that is alive. Could be a guy that's been killed off. But just let me know in the comments below what else you would like to see the great Games Workshop release this year in 2021 for the Imperial Guard. Put a comment below if you haven't already. Give us a sub and a like. It's very much appreciated. And this is Dom from Black Toe Studios. See you next time and take care.